Conference Final for the first time since 2015, and a little bit of deja vu all over again because their opponents will be the same squad they lost in Game 7 to at MSG that year. That would be the two-time defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning. It's the Rangers advancing past the Carolina Hurricanes into the NHL's Final Four. And we welcome in Alan May to discuss what went down in Carolina. And Alan, we're talking about a team in the Canes that hadn't lost at home all postseason. The Rangers only had one win in this series, in this postseason on the road. Nobody won on the road. And then the script got completely flipped in Game 7. Alan, what the hell happened?
Well, I saw this movie play before, and it was a few years back when the Carolina Hurricanes went into Washington, and it was one of those series where the team was winning all their home games, and in Game 7, they completely changed their style of play, and they caught everyone by surprise. I thought tonight the New York Rangers went into Carolina, where it's one of the hardest places to play in the National Hockey League. I think both of these arenas are Madison Square Garden and down in Raleigh. You look at what they were able to do. It's a very loud, noisy environment. They get on the board first. They took away the middle of the ice. They dominated in front of both nets, and they did not allow the Hurricanes, who are a momentum team, a team that wants to get at your net. You know, they want to shoot from everywhere. They want to crash. They want to find rebound goals. And all of a sudden tonight, the Rangers look like the best defensive team in hockey. They did an incredible job with their youthful defense of boxing out and taking away the middle lane from end to end. And I just thought it was a great coaching performance. And then the players, you know, right from all the defensemen, the forwards, and then, of course, Shesterkin on the backside, providing such an incredible brick wall and a backstop. So a lot of great things happened for the Rangers tonight, and it's like it was meant to be.
How about special teams between these two teams? The Rangers were particularly special with those two power play goals in the first that really set the tone. Carolina just really couldn't get anything going on the power play.
No, and you look at Adam Fox. He's one of the best young players in the National Hockey League as far as a defensive point of view, and he's the quarterback of the power play, and he got it going tonight. But I think it was at the end of the first series against Pittsburgh where Zibanejad, all of a sudden, you know, he wakes up and he's creating power play opportunities and pushing everyone back. And I think when you get a guy like that, when he starts getting hot, everyone else, you know, there's more relief. Kreider getting on the board with his style of goal. He's big on deflections and getting to the front of that, a true power forward. But when everyone starts rocking and rolling, that's great news for the New York Rangers. Their power play was excellent. I love their penalty kill. And a lot of the things that they don't get credit for during the season, and that's not things that they focus on. Their style of play is more of a quick offensive style. But here in the playoffs tonight, specifically, especially, they became a defensive lockdown team. Their penalty kill was excellent tonight. So they were doing all the things necessary to win. You look at Lindgren blocking shots the way he did. And, you know, it was from this, you know, his first shift on the ice to his last shifts. He was playing defensive zone, you know, just making sure he is doing and physically sacrificing everything he had to do to help his team get the W.
Now, a little bit of a letdown that Igor Shesterkin didn't have a couple of assists in this game like he did in Game 6. I'm just kidding. He's been getting
the number one job, though, for Igor Shesterkin, as it was all season long, stopping the puck. And you're worried about him a little while in that Pittsburgh series, but his team had his back, and he certainly had theirs in this round. So there's nothing to worry about there. They don't need to worry about him moving the puck when they've got Adam Fox. But first and foremost, excellent goaltender staying true to form.
No doubt. And for sure, he will be tested once again because next up for the Rangers, the defending champs, 2 times over, the Tampa Bay Lightning. How do you see this series going in stylistically?
Well, the big thing I think with Tampa is they're not going to be able to play a speed game. We don't know where Braden Point is right now with his injury. And you look at how they had to play to win that first round. They went into defensive lockdown mode, and they started bringing 4 and 5 guys back to their own defensive zone blue line. So the Rangers are a team. They like to get up on the ice quick, but I think the role players that they added, they can play a physical game. Their trade deadline acquisitions have been excellent for them. You look at Kopp, Mott, Frank Vetrano. Those 3 players alone have been providing, you know, special moments, big goals, key plays throughout these playoffs. So, you know, they got a little more depth, a lot more depth, I should say, than they had. But I still think Tampa Bay is still the champions. They understand the physical sacrifice that you have to make, the defensive commitment. And so they still have the best goaltender in the National Hockey League, in my opinion. what he's been able to do over the regular seasons. And I thought he stole the series against the Toronto Maple Leafs. So now it's a battle of the two best goaltenders in the National Hockey League. And it's going to come down to who's better and whose style of play is able to impose their will on the opposition.
A well-rested Tampa Bay Lightning team coming into Game 1 Wednesday night at MSG of the Eastern Conference Final against the New York Rangers. You mentioned how great the Garden is atmospherically. How much are the Rangers going to need to rely on the juice they get from the fans coming off this kind of win in Game 7 against Carolina?
Well, I played there a long time ago in the playoffs, and I had never experienced anything like that in my life. And it started in warm-up. The fans, the building was full. And then once the anthem was sung, it was unnerving. And we lost, my team lost the very first game, just got crushed. I think it was 6-2 or so, 6-3. It was a late goal by my team. And you have to take that crowd out. So you've got to find ways to make it, a deafening silence inside Madison Square Garden. And it does help. And I really thought in Game 6, their fans were a super boost. It was incredible what you could hear just, watching the game on television. So that's always big. But I'm telling you what, a couple of years ago, I was in for all the games in a 7-game series, Washington and Tampa Bay, and their fans are no joke either. They get into it. They rock, and their teams feed off of it. So what it boils down to is that, your stars on each team are going to have to outshine and outstar the opposition. And then your role players, they're going to have to out-rock and roll the other guys on the other team. So this is a great matchup. I like, really, I thought coming of age in this playoff so far has been the young defense of the New York Rangers. And if they can stay healthy, they can all skate, move the puck, they're physical, and they've learned a lot about the detail. If I look at Tampa, they've got Victor Hedman, maybe the best defenseman in the National Hockey League all the way around. But a lot of their guys, they're not slick skaters. They're big, burly, physical type of players, limited in puck, limited in skating. And I think that's something that the New York Rangers as a whole have to focus on, trying to turn the Tampa Bay defensemen so they can have more zone time and try to find some odd man situations to create great offense that converts into goals.
Awesome. Only two things for certain coming up in the Eastern Conference Final. Going to be exciting in both buildings, and Alan May is going to be there to break it down after every game for us. Thanks, Mayday.
Yeah, take care, man.
And here it is. The conference finals are set in the Stanley Cup playoffs. The defending champion Lightning and the New York Rangers in the East, the Colorado Avalanche and the Edmonton Oilers out west.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.